This video is brought to you by me. Seriously, I'm bringing this to you. But I'm also trying to promote the Twitch, because I have that. And from here on, most, if not all, live streams that aren't BBS are gonna be over there. I'm actually currently playing through The Last of Us, so if that sparks your interest, go check it out. The link is in the description. Thank you, me, for sponsoring this video. Hello everyone and welcome to the top 10 tech characters on Bleach Brave Souls. Now aside from the dialogue for the Mind Toshiro, this is actually the first time I record a top 10 since the update dropped. And the update pretty much changed everything, so unfortunately while the other 3 were made relatively recently, the only ones that are actually going to be up to date are this one and the Power one next week. So you know, whoops. Anyway, that out of the way, let's begin.
Bankai Kannon Village 絵にしめ改め仕方ないっすね。
Now starting things off is the manga version of Kisuke, a character that not too long ago was a lot higher on the list. But as I mentioned, this update changed a lot, and if I'm being honest, this character barely made it on here. Don't get me wrong, he is a really good character. He has a really high SP, Frenzy, and a strong attack recharge link that lets you spam his strong attacks. They also have really good range, and a strong attack 1 is a 180 mag that has really good range and helps rapidly increase the combo. It also helps push enemies back, which is not exactly great for speedrunning, but it does have its uses. Kisuke is also completely immune to being poisoned, and he has one of the most useful specials in the game, because after he uses it, it grants any character that's alive protection, letting them come back if they were to die anytime afterwards. Honestly, this special was the main reason he beat out some of the characters that didn't make it on this list. While they may be better in PvE than him, this ability is way too useful, especially in things like epic raids, any difficult co-op, and even some Sankamon floors. It also makes autoing a lot safer if you use it at the beginning, because then you essentially have the equivalent of like 6 characters, and it's that usefulness that placed him on this list.
一気に傘をつけるぜ。月が大将。
Up next is a character we haven't seen in a top 10 in quite some time, the full-bring version of Ichigo, a character that held the #1 title in the game for quite some time when he first came out, thanks of course to his utility in PvP and PvE. And while he's no longer great in PvP, thanks to this update, he is once again one of the best characters to take in PvE. Not that he wasn't great before the update, but now his stats can compete with some of the characters coming out now. Essentially, after this update came out, stats mean nothing, and since this Ichigo has one of the best kits in the game, it basically shot him back into this list. He not only has a really high SP and Frenzy, but his strong attacks all have really good range. Like, seriously good range. And his strong attack 3 hits in waves, so he can take out multiple waves of enemies with one attack. Not only that, but he also has a really good normal attack, something that's really uncommon with high SP characters. It is extremely fast and has really good range, thanks in part to his long reach at 20. Plus he has a plus 40 bruiser, which is way better than any SP characters that come out now. Honestly, you can build this guy as a NAD character and he'd be totally fine. I've done it, I've actually made a video on it, and it works out surprisingly well. Now for PvE, you're not gonna find many better characters, and I'm including the rest of the characters on this list. The only reason he's not higher than them is because the other have a lot more variety of uses than just a regular PvE. And I try to take everything into effect when making these lists, so that's why he ended up where he did. I know a lot of people had a problem with this recent update, but honestly the fact that it makes old characters like this one extremely good again makes it one of the best updates this game has ever put out.
そないな顔せんといてちゃんと戻ってくるて指一本触れさせへん邪魔や
Next on the list is the Cacao Society version of Gin, a character that K-Lab seems to be favoring for seasonals lately. This Gin has a really high SP as well as Frenzy and can inflict debilitating poison on everything he does. Not only that, but he's also completely immune to being poisoned himself, which is always a nice touch. He's got a full screen strong attack 3, a lunging strong attack 1, and a 180 strong attack 2. I know a lot of people have a problem with his strong attack 2, since it's not ideal for damage if you're not up close. It is extremely useful for inflicting poison since it hits so many times, and really helps to increase the combo. Plus it does a pretty good amount of damage if you're up close to the enemy. He's also got a strong tech recharge link, so he's able to spam these attacks, and he's got an extra sprinter, making him ideal for taking down bosses, since he's very likely to inflict poison, and the extra flash step will allow him to dodge the enemy's special. He may not be the fastest character to clear a room, but his abilities make him useful in a variety of situations, and that's why he ended up on this list.
しょうがないね。色に黒。
Next up is the past version of Shunsui, though you can't really tell since he always looks the same. Like the rest of the characters before him, he also has a really high SP and frenzy. Unlike them though, he can inflict debilitating laceration, which can be extremely useful, since enemies will take consistent damage, and bosses won't be able to use their strong attacks or their specials when afflicted with it. Aside from that though, he's actually got a pretty decent kit. He's got a full screen strong attack 3, a projectile strong attack 1, and a crawling vortex strong attack 2, which is really good for racking up the combo in guild quest, as well as allowing you to deal more damage because of it, and has a very high chance to inflict laceration. This is also a really useful ability in Senkaimon since it gathers enemies together, and for bosses it helps push them away in time for you to avoid their special. That said, if you do inflict laceration, it might delay their special in time for them to walk up to you again, but you know, you take the good with the bad. Honestly, he's just a good character for crowd control. Plus, he's completely immune to being weakened, which is always nice. Honestly, this exact build is becoming very common amongst characters, but I do feel that Shunsui is one of the better ones that has it. Next up is the past version of Shinji, the only good character with the low stamina damage link. And while yeah, I would have preferred literally any other link, it actually can come in handy for him. Plus, he doesn't really need it. He's already got a really high attack and a plus 80 bruiser. Additionally, he has a plus 40 berserker, meaning that at low stamina, his normal attack increases by 110% and his strong attacks increase by 70, which is actually really good. Now this character is a normal attacking character, and his normal attack has really good range. Additionally, his strong attack 2 is a vortex move, and on a normal attacking character, this is one of the best strong attacks you can have. Another good strong attack to have is a hybrid vortex move that gathers enemies in one spot before hitting them again. Luckily, he has this for his third strong attack, and it makes it really useful to prep enemies for upcoming attacks. Plus, assuming you don't chappy him, it actually does a decent amount of damage at low stamina. Now Shinji is one of the best characters to auto with. Not only does he have a great kit with it thanks to his normal attack and his strong attacks, but he's also completely immune to being frozen and paralyzed, meaning the only way to actually stop him is to kill him. While strong attacking characters may be faster for cleaning raids, this guy is definitely more reliable when autoing them. And to top everything off, his special can inflict laceration, which at this point is just a bonus. Now this next one was actually hard to place. If I'm being honest, Shinji is slightly better than her in PvE thanks to his abilities in range, but she definitely has higher damage potential and she can also put up a fight in PvP, something Shinji can't really do. Hiyori has a really high attack and she has flurry. She's also one of the few characters that has flurry that has a really good killer, meaning that in things like inheritance zones, droplet zones, and Senkaimon, you can take full advantage of the killer multiplication, which is extremely useful. She's also got poise, meaning she can put up a fight in PvP since she can attack while being attacked, and she can't really be stopped in PvE unless you freeze her or stun her. While she is mainly a normal attacking character, she does have a really good strong attack. And I do mean just a good strong attack, since her strong attack 1 and strong attack 3 aren't the best, but her strong attack 2 is a vortex move. And as I've already said, it's a really good thing for a normal attacking character to have that. Hiyori is also completely immune to being poisoned, and while we have seen this before, it's actually extra good for her to have this. This is because it makes her even better for autoing than she already was, since inheritance zones and droplet zones often have poisonous areas, and the AI really doesn't try to avoid these. To top it all off, her special, while it doesn't deal that much damage, does inflict weakened defense, allowing her to deal even more damage with her normal attack. We all asked for a remake of the Vizards, and I'd say they're nailing this iteration of them. Next on the list is the tech version of Aizen, who has a really high SP and frenzy. He's also got a strong attack recharge link and a strong attack 2 that's a boost move with enhancer, essentially giving him an infinite boost if you build him correctly. Now this was really good before, but it's even better after the update, since much like the Fullbring Ichigo we discussed earlier on this list, he also has a plus 40 bruiser. It's nowhere near as fast as Ichigo's, but his has a lot higher damage potential thanks to the boost move, since it increases the entire team's attack, defense, and focus by 33%. That's a pretty big deal, especially after the update. All that said, he's actually not even a normal attacking character, though he can be. His strong attacks are where he truly shines. His strong attack 3 is full screen and his strong attack 1 has really good range. That said, because his boost move is a boost move, you can't really spam his strong attacks like other characters. Though unlike those characters, his normal attacks would actually be good. And then we have his special, that deals a regular amount of damage, except for the times that it doesn't, because his special actually has a chance to instant kill. It's something that's really useful, especially in Senkaimon, when you're racing against the clock. It's this character's versatility that puts him so high up on this list. It's what keeps him relevant after all this time, and the update just adds to his versatility.
お前が逃れる術はね
Now next on the list is Tag Team Toshiro, who has a really high SP as well as Frenzy and can inflict debilitating freezing on all of his attacks. They also all have pretty good range, the Strong Attack 3 being a hybrid vortex move that would honestly be better off just being a regular full screen strong attack. That said, it is kinda full screen but only half the time. Still, his projectile Strong Attack 2 also has really good range, and so does his Strong Attack 1. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest here, I actually don't like this Toshiro. He kinda bores me. That said, he definitely deserves to be on here. Not only does he have good strong attacks, but he has a double killer, and that is extremely useful. Especially when it's the one that he has of Soul Reaper and Arankar, which is most of the enemies you'll encounter since most of the characters in this game are either Soul Reapers or Arankars. And since killer multiplications are a big deal now, you can basically take him almost anywhere, since odds are he's gonna have a killer against him, and it's for this reason that I'm putting him this high up on the list.
行くぜデボルベルロスロボス逃げられると思うな
Now next up is one of my favorite characters to ever come out, the Can't Fear Your Own World version of Coyote Stark. He not only has a really high SP, but also Frenzy and can inflict debilitating burn on all of his attacks. In addition to this, he's also completely immune to being burned himself. Now this character is one of the best PvE characters in the game. He probably has the best strong attacks in the game since they all have ridiculous range. This is of course thanks to him having Havoc at 20, and it makes his strong attack 3 even more than a full screen. Plus, since he has a strong attack recharge link, you can actually spam these strong attacks and clear a level incredibly quickly. They definitely didn't disappoint with this Stark, and I'm really glad they made him a gunner. Now before I get to number 1, here are a few honorable mentions. Also, don't forget to check out the Twitch. You know, if you want.
本気で行かせてもらう。悪く思わんといてよ。
口利け時期通したるこの私が相手になろう。波動の33総括水
甘いの 退屈だぜてめえは楽しませてくれるんだろうな
プレゼントを届けに来ましたよどうぞ受け取ってくださいメリークリスマス
挽回弱砲来光弁この一撃で終わらせてやろう
Now finally at number 1 we have Soifon, a character who would definitely still be on this list even without the update, but thanks to the update is now number 1, because as I mentioned, stats no longer matter. Well, I mean, they do, but since you can give any character a ridiculously high stat, it's really more about the abilities and strong attacks. And Soifon has nailed that. Not only does she have Frenzy, but she can also inflict debilitating poison on everything. Except of course for her special, which can inflict debilitating burn. She's got a full screen strong attack 3 and her strong attacks 1 and 2 are lunge moves, with her strong attack 2 having pretty good range. She can also spam all these since she has a boosted strong attack recharge link of 14%. Now if we're going just off of strong attacks, Stark would actually be above her. He actually does have better range, and poison and burn are pretty much interchangeable. That said, this Soifon happens to have long stride, and because she's a Soifon, she's got multiple flash steps. This combination makes her the fastest character in the game. Since the only other characters to have as many flash steps and long stride are the tech past, powered armored, and Halloween versions of Yoruichi. And while those characters are good, Soifon does have better coverage on her strong attacks, and it makes her one of the best characters for guild quests, as well as literally anything else that requires you to beat a mission fast. Not to mention that the extended flash steps help you dodge enemy specials. Honestly, I kinda blame this character for killing long stride for any Yoruichis or Soifons that came out after her, and I do hope it's not the last time we see it on them. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel. And check out the Twitch if you don't mind.